Hey there, everybody! Seth here! Boy, it has once again been a while since we found ourselves in this setting. I do want to keep the video as short as possible, but I really want to apologize a bit first for how long this took. I'll just say real life can be a real bastard and a half, and we'll leave it at that. We are at long last here, though, with the real Super Boss Lambda Progress video. You're probably watching Lambda's idle animation there, and everything else going on and calling bullshit, but, yeah, no, this is the real Super Boss Lambda. The scheduling for this has already been so screwed up that I might only do one more progress video after this when she's basically fully finished. As you're about to see and can probably infer from the video length, I have still been busy on her the past few months. I'm still liking a good spiffy name for her right now. I recall Spoopy suggesting something like Lab Pet number 11 or something, but I'm still not totally sold on that yet. So to all of you lovely people that like to offer your naming suggestions in the comments, feel free to do so. I would appreciate it. Anyway, all that garbage out the way, let's get to showing off what I've been up to with this, character. God, I hate her so much. As per usual, we're gonna kick things off, talking about how she has more health than normal. She's got 18,500. To those potentially new around here, all the super bosses, at least most of them, have, 8,000 more HP than the normal version of the character usually does. It totals up to 18,500 for Lambda. She also has a 50% speed increase to all of her movement, her air dashes, her running speed, her walking speed, her air dashes, all that good stuff. She has an extra jump and an extra air dash, too. So she has 1, 2, 3 jumps and 1, 2 air dashes. On top of that, her air dash durations are all cut by, 2 to 3 frames. And this is actually because when she's a final boss in, like, the Act 3 of Arcade mode in this game, she actually has a shorter air dash duration, so went ahead and copy that over to the Super Boss version. Lets her act out of the air dashes a little sooner, which can be helpful. Her backdash also travels farther by about 25%. I would have made it a little farther, but it would have made this next change a little, probably not work as well. We have our first community-suggested change from our good buddy John Brown. Her backdash can now cancel into any, act parser try follow-up. So, backdash Sparta, backdash Blade, Cavalier isn't coming out for some reason. Oh, I know why it's not. I might need to fix that, but I made it require the full input for Cavalier. Got to probably tweak that so you just do forward and C afterward, like you can with the other two moves here. So she has an option if they whiff something during her backdash, just retaliate. As with every other Super Boss mod so far, her overdrive timer has been greatly extended. Same old good old 13-second long overdrives at full health, 20 seconds at low health. Her overdrive doesn't really do anything yet right now. I haven't gotten to setting that up yet, but it's there. Alright, now for more of the other background technical stuff. You'll notice that Lambda's gauges are different. We're gonna get into that later. But I assure you that her old gauge from her Unlimited anyways, the Axe gauge that she copied from Labrys, that is still here in spirit because Super Boss Lambda here has a 20% damage bonus, which is exactly the same that she gets from Labrys' red Axe gauge on her Unlimited form. But as a bonus, this 20% damage boost now affects her globally, as in all of her attacks, and not just like her C and D moves or whatever the fuck they were. It was only applied to certain attacks initially, or if I recall right back in that game. So now it applies to her entire moveset, and the Axe gauge is just not a thing anymore. Her other red Axe effects, like her chip damage, only apply to the moves they used to, like her C and D normals and all her specials. And this consists of 10% chip damage on normals, 15% chip damage on specials, 8 extra hit and block stun on everything, and the ability to fatal counter. And the extra block stun has made several moves go from unsafe to advantageous, which is Most notably her Y dashes, which we will also get into later. You'll see that her heat gauge is going up passively. Not very fast, but it's increasing. That is also another change from her being a arcade boss in Act 3, just like the shortened air dash changes, so of course I had to apply that to her as well. Much like every other super boss as well, her crush trigger is always considered fully charged, and it can fatal counter. That's literally about it. I didn't really know what to do with crush trigger that would be interesting for her. But I mean, it's still usable. Her counter assault has been changed, but we'll go into what that is later. It's important, keep that in mind. And that's about it for system changes, so now we can address the other elephant in the room, which is, the animations. You're probably asking me right now, Seth, why is she doing the weird shit like the sandbag Lambda? That's because I did the animation tweaks on this mod first, and then decided to carry those over to the sandbag Lambda. You see, Lambda here tried to pirate CF because she's a dirty thief, and in doing so, she unfortunately caught a virus, so her idle animation, as well as her, walking, running, etc. animations are all a little funky. Now, obviously, this is only a cosmetic change, and I did it purely for my own self-satisfaction and to alleviate the suffering and despair I was going through of having to work on this character. Because here's the deal, guys. You said for me to make the mod functioning and good, and I did do that. But what you didn't say anything about was creative liberty regarding about how her appearance is. And therefore, I have taken that creative liberty to add some joy into this creation by making her look as stupid as humanly possible. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do much with that without actually impacting her performance for right now, but come on! Let me have something! Let me have a little fun here. God, there's gonna be a lot of cuts in this video to make it as short as possible. Anyways, while we are technically not done with system changes or universal changes, so to speak, I have changed her throws, both of her throws. First up, we have her grounded throws, and her grounded throws now pick up the opponent. It will shock them and drop them right next to Lambda very closely for very easy follow-ups of whatever you can maybe want. I think you can even just do, like, can you 5C off of it? No? I can change that, I guess. But it's a lot easier to connect into other shit, at least. Her throws also have an additional bonus of stealing 15 heat and 1500 health from the opponent, because, as mentioned, she is a filthy, dirty thief with nothing original going on for herself. Everything she has is stolen. And so therefore she will also steal the health and meter of the opponent. This is also somewhat loosely based on the fact that Robo-Kai in Guilty Gear ACR has a command grab that can steal. I think it can only steal tension. I'm not sure about health. I know it steals tension though, so it was kind of inspired from that too. Air throw! This is an interesting one. The animation for this has actually changed completely. Lambda will now electrocute herself and the enemy before they both fall to the ground. Still a work in progress of how it functions, but it has indeed been completely changed its utility, because as an additional bonus, it is now usable in combos! Indeed, her air throw is now a combo throw, and this is the first step of trying to play into that concept I rose of, her being a hybrid grappler of sorts. Kind of like, a little like Bullet, but not entirely like Bullet. As mentioned, it's still a work in progress for the functionality-wise, but you're not meant to combo alpha this. It's meant to be your, an air combo ender, essentially. Is its purpose. It is your good meterless ender for your air strings. It still leaves Lambda quite close to the opponent and with advantage, too, so you still get your, Oki or whatever else the fuck you want, maybe, after I polish it off a little bit more. And as a bonus, while it's meant to be a meterless ender, it does have cancel options into her unlimited spikes, as well as her supers. Like so. So it can also be a bit of an extender as well. It being a finishing grab also means it has a very high damage, or at least it does like its full damage at the end of the combo, or at least it will. I've been messing around with that a little bit. Alright, that was the last of our system mechanic sort of changes, or universal changes. So now we get into the nitty-gritty of her normals. First up being her 2A is now a low. Not really much to say there. It's just a low now. 6A is a little crazier. This is one of the stranger modifications I've ever done to a normal for a super boss, I'll say. 6A is now attack level 5. Has frame 1 head invincibility, and has 1,000 base damage. And it is also significantly faster. It's actually even faster than her 5A, making it a better bootleg version of Robokai's Heavy Slash. The air intakeable time has been raised by 50%, and the Paration 1 has been raised to 100, so very good combo starter. It's a 5-frame C-normal, essentially, which can make it rather dangerous if she mashes out and hits you with it. On top of being an anti-air, it's also an anti-air! It's a 5-frame anti-air and C-normal, despite the tiny range. I imagine this being a very potent part of her kit, to say the least. 5B has its attack level raised to 4, which allows for, Akbar's to try to connect off of it without any counter hits or anything. And the air intakeable time's been increased, which can let you use it for, certain pickup combos. 2B slides forward like Robokai 2K, a little, considerable distance. And the attack level's been raised to level 4, just for the same reasons as 5B, so it's, Akbar's will try to connect afterwards. And has also had its air intakeable time increase so you can, do pickup combos with it. 6B will now launch closer to Lambda with a lot more air intakeable time. It also has foot and throw invincibility after she leaves the ground until she lands, meaning it can beat low and throw mashes on the opponent's get-up. The Paration 1 has also been raised from 80 to 90, making it a better combo starter, and the bonus Paration, for using it in combos in general, has been raised from 120 to 110 to 120. So you get more reward off of including this in your route here. Oh, I wonder if that works, actually. Hold on. Almost. Well, there's ways to route into it. Like that. Jeez. She has a lot of new interesting combo routes now. As a final bonus, 6B can now also cancel into any C-normal on hit or on block. Which, yeah, mostly useful on block because of how it launches them out of the range. I guess it could work there, though. All of her C-normals have received a global change of having their attack level raised from 3 to 4, giving them more hit stun, block stun, etc. 2C pops up on ground hit like on counter hits. You can use as a launcher into air combos. It is now jump cancelable on any hit, instead of just the last one, so you can mix them up with that. And it also doesn't lose its air unblockable property partway through the move, so every one of its 8 hits will go through normal air blocking. 3C has the hard knockdown from her unlimited, and it doesn't lose its low or air unblockable partway through the move, similar to how 2C doesn't do it anymore either, so every one of these 8 hits is a low now. And can cancel into 5D and 2D. 6C has extra chip damage, 20% instead of the usual 10, so it is very good for putting the pressure on there. The Paration 1 has been raised from 100 to 110, making it a upscaling combo starter. And the Paration 2 is raised from 82 to 92, making it scale better in the middle of combos as well. The ground slide time has been doubled, and it doesn't lose air unblockable trait partway through, which, yeah, you see a reoccurring theme here. 4C! This is a new normal I gave her that I actually kind of forgot existed, but it has its utility. Lambda will do her, oh, this is a weird one. I should probably maybe give it a few more particle effects, but Lambda does her overdrive animation while releasing some buggy-looking thing in front of her. That's meant to give this move a hitbox, by the way. This attack is based on Robokai's 6H from Guilty Gear ACR. Most closely resembles the level 2 variant the most, being decently advantageous on block, but quick like the level 1 version. And this attack can also fatal counter. And can also cancel into any other C move. 6A. 6B, or 5D. So it's mainly used as, like, something to keep the pressure on, essentially, due to how advantageous it is on block. Use it for C chains like that. That could be actually pretty nasty, come to think of it. On to aerials real quick. We have JA, which can now cancel into JC and JD, because it originally couldn't do that for some reason, apparently. It can cancel into J2C, but not JC, usually. And that didn't even combo, so... yeah, now you can just JA... if you hit a JA in the air, just JC and get a combo off of it if you want. If you don't want to do JB instead, I guess. JB, speaking of, has Duration 1 raised from 80 to 90, making it a better combo starter, and also gets the ability to cancel into JC and JD, which, once again, it also couldn't do initially, for reasons I cannot fathom. JC and J2C, Duration 1, has been raised from 80 to 100, making them way better combo starters, and they're jump cancelable on any hit. Also, J2C, of course, like the other C moves prior, doesn't lose the overhead property partway through, so you have a, 8-hit overhead? Something like that, something absolutely vile. And they can, both JCs can cancel into air throw, of course, which they couldn't do before. Although it is a little hard to directly cancel into them. I like to do, I like to use Lambda's last jump to just jump into the air throw for consistency, but you can indeed get, like, 3 full reps of JC, J2C, and then into the air throw if you time it good enough. Like that. Alright, you guys have probably seen by now that I've been avoiding showing off her drives, and that is because whatever weird virus Lambda got infected with has greatly changed her fighting style. Sickle Storm, Spike Chaser, Gravity Seed, and both of her initial distortions, so no Legacy Edge and Calamity Sword, it's all been removed. It's all gone. She doesn't share any specials with New anymore. That includes her drive. Even her drive is something different now, so no more Sword Summoner. Crescent Saber's function has been it does exist, but its function has been changed to where it's basically an entirely new move, so that's basically gone too. As for her new drive, this took me a while to think up, but I think I've actually settled on something pretty good here. Her new drive! This is her 5D, which has Lambda do her Exceed Excel Chop. This attack will knock down on hit, and actually relates to that first little empty gauge down there that has replaced her Gravity Seed gauge that you probably saw there. This attack will get progressively stronger with more damage and extra effects for each stock of her charge gauge that she has down there. And using this attack will reset the bar to empty, so picking the right time to unleash it is rather crucial. It's also usable in the air, where the properties are slightly different for the charge levels. And it can also cancel into 2D or specials, so you can do... okay, well, not that, but you can do... that was so easy, it got her 4K, that's disgusting. As for 2D, which I just mentioned, 2D will have Lambda perform a looping taunt and begin charging both of her gauges. As it increases not only just her right gauge, but the leftmost gauge as well. You can see now that she has 4 bars worth of charge that she can max out on for her 5D. And using it does indeed spend all of it. You can 5D into 2D for a bit of charge there. I'm trying to maybe hopefully have combo routes where she can, like, knock you down, then charge mid-combo, and then keep hitting you. That's a bit of a goal of mine. As an extra bonus to charging both of her gauges until the D button is released, you'll also notice her heat gauge goes up a lot faster too, so... this is a rather useful attack to just use after, like, a knockdown, or after if your opponent's laning you out. Just stock up on your resources. Now that we've grown familiar with how her first gauge works and as well as her new drive, I will also now go over, at least at the moment anyway, what each of the 5D attack levels do. charge to one stock. So, the first stock gives the attack more damage, a harder knockdown, and allows it to fatal counter. Probably easily had time to actually convert into 3C there if I'm a little faster. Yes, you do. Can't normally do that, as he basically attacks right afterwards, but the longer knockdown allows you to get some more interesting stuff. You can also do, like, Raw Cavalier and have it work, when it normally wouldn't. On top of that, it also gains some forward movement, so it hits after the string 5C, 6C that whiffed earlier. She'll lunge a bit forward, as you can see, to make it hit, when normally, like I showed before, that would normally whiff. It also gives the move more block stun, making it safer on block. Still punchable by an A button, apparently, though. It's a B button. Safe to B moves? Not quite. Or at least not Rachel's. The air version will ground bounce the opponent on one stock, and also keep them closer to Lambda for easier follow-ups. Shit. And allow you to more easily follow up off it without having to like cancel into a special or something. From one stock onward, I will say that the knockdown is, that it gains is not as long as the ground version. The ground version always knocks down for longer than the air version from, one charge stock onward, but otherwise they both have the same knockdown time. On level 2, the attack gains even more damage and becomes attack level 5, as well as gaining a Guard Crush property that you apparently maybe can't convert off of. Maybe with an A button? Might make that a little longer, not gonna lie. Yeah. Well, it's not meant to be an unblockable, so that's actually pretty alright. Guard Crush doesn't has 110 P1s. This immediately becomes a very good combo starter as well. Just like 6C. The knockdown time is increased further, and the air version becomes air unblockable without barrier, so it is an air unblockable aerial, so to speak. They don't barrier block it. Allowing you to just convert into whatever off of it. Used to catch their jumps. The third level is where shit starts to get very interesting. The third level has an even longer Guard Crush, which I imagine could probably land a hit off of this, right? Yeah, you can combo off that Guard Crush. I'm still, just for clarification, I'm still adjusting the rate that she, like, charges all the gauges and stuff, too. I don't want it to be too fast, but I don't want it to be too slow, so it's actually, like, practical to do at the same time to catch my drift here. Level 3, longer Guard Crush, totally air unblockable, so it goes through air barrier, even. Paration 1 is raised to 120 from 110, and the Paration 2 is raised to 100, making it even more monstrous in combos. And the grounded version will also restand the opponent instead of knocking them down, as well as lunging further forward. So, like, if I hit like a tip or 3C here, it'll restand Rachel, even though she was knocked down, or even if they're in the air, too. Like, if I do 2C into... Does this work? Okay, it doesn't work if she's blocking. Holy shit, that lunge is long. That hit... Oh my god! That's crazy! That's actually really cool. Ooh! Ooh, we can get another 6C after that, too. Nice. Ground version restands and lunges farther forward, and the air version bounces higher. So you got the level 1 bounce there. Here's the level 3 bounce. Shit, if I don't fuck it up anyways. So, JD used to actually freeze her momentum in the air until after she swung, but it looked really weird, was a little abusable as like an instant overhead, so you could like jump and then freeze her in the air and overhead them with JD, so which was a little fucked up. I could just make it hit mid in that case, but yeah, I don't know. I might add something like to the later levels that has her freeze in the air. Still, that could probably be useful for making it a little more consistent anyways, but there's the level 3 bounce, which is a lot higher. And that only leaves the fully charged version, which this one's fucked up. This one's very fucked up. I'll just show you. Yeah. Fully charged drive attack is a guaranteed unblockable fatal counter with 130 P1, 110 P2. So not only is it the most godlike starter that she has, it will also upscale combo damage mid-combo. But is also supposed to actually deal an additional hit that I haven't bothered to make yet, because I've been working on other stuff in her kit right now. But I intend for her to do like her crush trigger animation after that for a second hit for even more, for just probably 3k raw, me or less. And it's her best combo starter. So you have some fucked up shit like just casual 8k meterless off of unblockable that you can block string into. Like, fuck, man, you knock them down 3C and then meaty 5C them on get up? They're fucked. Unless they counter assault or something. They're trapped into that. That basically sums up her drive, though. The air version is, the same. It also has a lot more hit stop, obviously. Every level has a lot more hit stop, obviously, for dramatic effect to add more oomph into landing the move. That about covers all her drive stuff, though, at least for the time being, other than, like, small retweaks and all that. That's Lambda's new drive. I think it's pretty nice. It was, like I said, I struggled figuring out what the fuck to do with her drive, considering, like, what the hell do I replace Sword Summoner with? And kind of just remembered that Gran and Jita and Granblue exist, and I'm like, oh, that could actually work for Lambda pretty well. And now here we are. If you guys think that the charge rate for the bar there should be faster or slower, I need to make the particle effect spam slower on that at the very least. That was not intentional. I need to just throw it out there here, like right now, in the middle. It's close to the middle of the video rather than the end of it. That I am very limited with what I can do with this character because of her animations not being ideally suited for close combat. I did mention the whole hybrid rushdown grappler concept, but look how stubby these normals are for the most part. I mean, I had to use her fucking Exceed Excel animation for a drive, for God's sake. It's not easy. I tried. Just know, I tried. I'm trying very hard. But I think luckily what we got going right now is pretty alright. Honestly, if I could change more of her normals and stuff, I would, but limited animations. With her fancy new drive attacks covered, that is actually the last of her normals, so we can go on to her specials, with the first one we're going to talk about being 2-2D, Exeganail. Or Exeganails, I believe it's actually pronounced, but for the sake of simplicity right now. And, I did kind of want to make her not have projectiles, but, which is kind of partially why I removed all of new specials other than plagiarism, but this move was originally Lambda's from the start, so I let her keep it. Same goes with the other 2-2 specials we'll go into later there. Anyway, Exeganail's recovery has been reduced even further than the standard overdrive version, which lets her do a, falling JB or whatever else while she's, dropping from the sky there. It also has a lot more invincibility. There's only a tiny pocket of a gap where she's vulnerable before her sword fires. Other than that, it's completely invincible up until almost basically until she attacks. With a very, very, very small gap. An additional change done to the move, suggested by John Brown, was having it stagger longer on grounded hits, so you can run up and get follow-ups really easily. And also has a lot more air and techable time, for the same purpose. The Parisian 1 has been raised from 80 to 90, making it a better combo starter, and you can also use it in the air now for, I don't know, fancy stuff. You can do this, though. That's pretty fucking cool. Although, the air version costs an air option to use because, as you can see, it rockets her further in the air, so we don't want her to be able to infinitely spam this to camp you up in the sky. That's not very healthy for the game. The air version has a lot quicker startup with less backwards movement, and the Paration 2 on the attack as a whole has been raised to 98, so... yeah, fun. I think in some cases you can even land 3 in a row. In the corner, I think you can land 3 in a row. Yeah. You can convert off that too. Wow, really? I much prefer this. Yeah. And now onto the meat of her specials, her patented Act Parser Zwei attacks. Starting with 236A, the basic bitch Act Parser Zwei. It's a bit faster overall, not just in travel speed, but also in actual like startup. It's also invincible until Lambda. Once Lambda loses collision, while she's being able to pass the opponent until she reappears, giving it a neat little invincibility window there. It is also whiff cancelable a lot faster than normal, and has new whiff cancel options, speaking of, into any of 236B's follow-ups, any of the tri-follow-ups. You can do into Sparta, into Cavalier, into Blade. I actually did get that one right. You can just hold forward C for that one. Little interesting notes. You can also do stuff like that. 236B, Act Parser Tri, the actual main one, is attackable 4 from 3, and slightly faster to start up, so you can link off of it into it from more shit. Doesn't work on 5A, though. It gains frame 1 low and throw invincibility until the recovery, and, oh, it does actually connect into Sparta now, though. Like so. Lastly, the attack will always stagger on grounded hit, like it normally would on counter hit. For some purpose or another, I'm sure it's useful. With the base move out of the way, we get onto its numerous follow-ups, starting with Zwei Sparta, which has Lambda jump significantly lower now than it used to. And this actually helps keep her closer to the opponent after the launch, so that she can convert off of it without a counter hit at all. Or just mid-screen in general. So this is very useful for getting reward off that overhead of hers. And on top of that, it can also cancel, with enough timing anyways, into Blade. With a slight delay, it can indeed combo too. Just takes a little bit of finesse. As well as having frame 1 foot invincibility until she lands, so it'll beat low mashes. Paration 1 raised from 90 to 95, and P2 raised from 82 to 90, making it a better combo starter and combo filler. Next up is Blade, the low follow-up, which is now attack level 4 from 3, and can be cancelled into 236A. Shit. Cavalier, and even Hexagonale, even on whiff. Let's see what else we have here. Blade deals a hard knockdown, allowing for relatively easy dash pickups if you don't want to go directly into Cavalier. Paration 1, in a similar vein to Sparta, has been increased the same amounts, 95 P1 and 90 P2. Has frame 1 head and body invincibility until recovery, unlike Sparta's foot invincibility, which means this will actually beat a staggeringly high number of moves, because most attacks in the game are body attribute. The vertical launch is also introduced so that instant cancels into 236C don't side swap, because that was initially a huge problem where she would miraculously go underneath them while dashing with Cavalier and hit behind. What the fuck was that? Kind of something like that. So, the launch is a bit lower so that stuff like that doesn't happen. And speaking of Cavalier, we have Cavalier. Honestly, probably my favorite move this character has, even from like a normal Lambda perspective. This is my favorite move to spam to hell back in Continuum Shift. Cavalier's Paration 1 has been raised from 90 to 120, making it her best starter besides a high-charged 5D. Hopefully I didn't say that 6C was her best starter, because no, it's this, other than the charged drive attacks. Duration 2 has been raised from 84 to 94. This move has frame 1 projectile guard point that lasts till recovery, so you can just blow through projectiles. The wall bounce and wall stick has more air and technical time. The block stun has been increased, so I think this move is actually plus now on block. Like, oh, it's very plus on block. Holy hell. Hey, you can't even A-punish it now. Yeah, Cavalier is mad plus on block now, on top of being an extremely good starter. And, can cancel 2-6-A. Oh, can you just, like, cool with that? Hold on. Ooh, kind of. Oh, hold on. Is that a thing? Is Cavalier Loop a thing? No, oh my god, it is. Eh, maybe not mid-screen, though. Ooh, almost. Ah, no, it's like it's a corner thing. That's interesting to say the least. I might look more into that. That's actually it for her base game specials that she still has, which means next up we have to talk about her, the new stuff that I have given her, as well as the, remaining special that she actually has from her Unlimited, which is, 2-2 A, B, or C. This is, as mentioned, the Unlimited special she has in Chrono Phantasma Extend, where she does a very fast Spike Chaser animation, and it only spawns 1 spike. Although here it summons 2 now, which, and they cover similar angles to... This move is based off of, Labrys's special in Persona 4 Arena with the same input. But, this is now based on their boosted version, the old boosted versions. From Ultimax 1.0, and I think the Vanilla Arena had the same thing, maybe. Where it will spawn 2 spikes in varying positions, depending on the button pressed. And this can actually be cancelled into from any 2-6B attack, or 2-6C, so you can do, That's a normal thing you can actually do in Chrono Phantasma Extend, too. I never actually knew that until, my mod tester pointed it out to me, but... So any Act Parser special, besides, well, the normal Act Parser, can cancel into... Holy shit, the swords actually land correctly for once? Huh, interesting. So, could be fun. Doesn't actually combo, though, unfortunately, which it didn't in Chrono Phantasma Extend either. Maybe that could be an overdrive change, where it actually combos into the spike, likely. Alright, on to her new specials, which she actually has 4 so far, with, or actually 5, technically. 6 if you're really counting all of them, but 1 is not done yet. I'll see if I show it or not. Starting off with, this is a placeholder command at the moment. Do let me know if I should change it, but 214A is now... Introducing Lambda Driver. Lambda rips off of Tager by grabbing the opponent and then performing a highly damaging alternate version of her air throw. This is slower than your average throw, but has considerable invincibility before it goes active until recovery, so this is literally like old Tager A Driver. And actually has the same range as Tager's A Driver, making it quite, disgusting. You can also, as a, this is a work in progress, let me know what you guys think here. Instead of being a true command grab unlike Tager's, you can combo into Lambda Driver and out of Lambda Driver for considerable damage. I thought that worked for a second. Oh, that works though. So it is a command combo grab with some minor bugs right now, like being able to grab through block stun, which is not okay. I need to trying to figure out how to fucking fix that. But can't grab airborne targets, can grab grounded targets in hit stun is the intended purpose. It shouldn't be able to fucking grab you through block stun. That is disgusting. You can block stun cheese into that so easily. Currently, for some reason, it says it can only follow up with meter due to its high damage, but honestly, since you can only land reasonably 1 per combo, I think letting you just, like, Act Parse or dash off of it is perfectly fine for right now. Like I said, do let me know what you guys think. If it should be, like, a true command grab, if I should keep it a combo grab, I'm interested. to know what you think. Which, speaking of actually, due to it working on only standing hit-stun opponents, that is the purpose behind the Stage 3 restand, because now you can do, let's see if I can pull it off here. Second Lambda driver! For less damage, but still. I'll reset. That was disgusting. Our next move that is totally not stolen off another character is suggested by, once again, John Brown, with the command 46A, known as Exiga Chain. And I loved this idea, John, by the way, if you're watching this, dude. It is a ghetto version of Labrys's Chain Knuckle, and uses the animation and projectile of New's Exceed Excel. The appeal of this move, that's probably the best word, but first what came to mind, is that this attack can cancel into the Zwei follow-ups, whether it be Sparta, or Blade, or Cavalier. And the follow-ups are modified to make them go farther or faster to allow it to actually connect properly, so Sparta jumps very far, as you can see. And Blade will also rocket across the screen. Anything else? Oh, after a certain point of traveling, the projectile will actually gain extra hit stun, which will allow the falls to connect better, mainly Cavalier. Notice how at full screen, Exiga Chain into Cavalier works, but at point blank, not enough hit stun. It doesn't combo. But at longer ranges, you can go into Cavalier, or off counter hit, you can go into Cavalier. And our next special is actually a variant of Exiga Chain that I came up with 46B. It is the same as Exiga Chain, but it is slower, with a larger, stronger sword that deals more chip damage. It's attack level 5, and absurdly plus on block, like Robokai's Bazooka special. Very plus on block. Oh god, is that like an infinite block string? Is this in the Cavalier just an infinite block string? Not quite, but it is very oppressive. It doesn't get extra hits on long range because it doesn't need it, because you can actually get point blank Cavalier off this. It has more hit stun and everything after all. So you get two different flavors of Chain Knuckle, so to speak, although this one is based on a completely different move. Let's see. Next up is J236C, which also doesn't really have a name yet. Lambda pretends that she's Arachne and flies through the air doing Super Rage, just like his J236C. So it is very good air extender, actually. Very good for air corner carry, even though you have Cavalier chains to do, Zwei chains to do that. It's actually a pretty fun move. It does more damage than Arachne's version, and also carries the victim significantly farther. As well as the final hit actually launches higher, allowing for mid-screen conversions. Or even like, do this here. Fuck, although if you, if you carry them too high up before you do that, it'll make them flip them behind you, so you have to be aware of your, spacing before you choose to go into this move. You can even get, like, 5C afterwards. Like so. Let's see, anything else about it? No. I will say, while I've said it before, I believe, that I'm trying not to make her share moves with New. I mainly chose I originally had her do a flying J2C, but I feel like this already gets used for Exceed Excel and itself. I want to have some animation variety, so how to do fancy rapid spinning Super Rage instead, because I found it more appealing for variety purposes. And I can't quite get Roth 6C after that, unfortunately. Can you do land and then 5D, actually? That'd be kind of disgusting. Oh, you can? Alright, the last of her fully functioning working specials, actually relates to that second gauge that we've been ignoring the entire time now, the red one. The red one that replaces the axe gauge. We finally get to talk about what that does. And this move is only usable while that gauge is full. For, you see, With full red gauge there, if Lambda is put into hit stun, if you hit 2-2D, so the same command as Exeganail, but 2-2D while in hit stun, Lambda will violently explode, blasting both herself and the opponent back while dealing damage with a Ghetto Burst Shockwave. I believe this works if she's hit by a non-grab, non-super. It's a free combo breaker, is what it is for the cost of that gauge. Spend the entire red gauge to violently explode, blasting her and her opponent back from each other and dealing decent damage. This is what I changed her counter assault to, actually, as well. I remember I said I changed her counter assault. Well, this is what I changed it to. If she counter assaults, regardless of how much red bar she has, she will do the explosion there and launch the opponent back. This does, in fact, mean that counter assault can now kill, and that hitting her successfully can now also kill. Raise it forward here, charge it with 2D here. Shit. Imagine dying because you hit your opponent. With a extremely stupid, asinine mechanic like this in tow, you guys have no longer any room or right to tell me that I made this character bad. She can literally kill you for hitting you. For hitting her. I hate when I misspeak. And for our last special, I might as well talk about it right now, fuck it. It's not done yet, but this is, what Crescent Saber got turned into. It's still the same command, just out of convenience, and because it makes sense, because, the move it copies. But Crescent Saber is now meant to be a copy of Lambda's Labrys's Air Guillotine X special, the B version specifically. As mentioned, it isn't fully complete yet. The final hit on the ground doesn't exist yet, but I think the animation looks good. Double Crescent Saber into Calamity Sword drop down for the final hit. Final hit isn't present, the first two hits don't link on the ground, the damage might be a little scuffed, but yeah, overall, it works decently well so far right now, actually, like, up in the air. God, this recording session between the misspeaking and all the empty parts I'm gonna have to fucking cut out is such a mess. Okay, and my voice hurts, so I need to get this done fast. Alright, lastly we have her supers. Well, the ones that are left behind anyways. She has 3 right now, her 2 unlimited supers, and then a new one. There is one more. I want to give her one more to total up to 4, so that both Legacy Edge and Calamity Sword are replaced by something new, but that's not done yet, so still slinging ideas around for that too. But she has 3 supers right now, and that, of course, being the 2 from her Unlimited and a new one. The first one being her 236-236C from Unlimited Lambda, the Super Cavalier based on Labrys's Beast Weaver special. This, seeing as the Axe Gauge no longer exists, or rather is also functionally capped out permanently, this does a little more damage than the Red Axe version used to do in Chrono Phantasmic Sand, and as well, a change from John, although I would have probably done this myself. This move now goes full screen, making it particularly evil as well. Alright, next up is what I got to call the shitter special, because this move was fucking garbage and completely useless back in CPEX here, but it has been buffed to actually be useful. And also buffed by the lack of Legacy Edge existing to do its job, we have the other Labrys super, Breaking Wheel. And Lambda's version now has been made significantly more useful due to lacking, yeah, because Legacy Edge is gone for... I mean, you maybe use this for, like, block advantage, but, like, why not just use Legacy Edge? It gives you more advantage and does more damage. This thing does shit for damage normally, but the damage has been buffed, in a way, because now, unlike summoning 3 shitty blades in front of her, like the normal Breaking Wheel does for Labrys, and in CPEX this was complete dog water, it now goes full screen like Labrys's skill-boosted Breaking Wheel, the 75-meter version. And if you actually walk your opponent through the blades, or dash through the blades, you actually get 4K off this fucking move, making it really potent, on top of it being it's invincible, so it's a safe reversal, too. It's a advantageous reversal, in fact. So even if they, like, block it, you are mad plus to just run in and do whatever the fuck you want, and hit them afterwards. So Breaking Wheel's actually very, very, very good, because you can't just,
do Legacy Edge for the pressure portion. It's also her only, without Calamity Sword, she doesn't have a reliable reverse, faster reverse. I mean, Calamity Sword's pretty slow reversal. You get the idea. Fuck it. I'm rambling on at this point. Okay. The last super that's actually working right now is the new one I gave her. Take a guess what it is. Give up. It is, once again, command work in progress, but we have 2-1-4, 2-1-4A. Super Lambda Driver, which is a ghetto, bootleg, cheaply made Chinese copy of Genesect Emerald Tiger Buster. That's exactly what it is. It works the same way, has the same frame data, and as you probably saw up in the combo damage there, it does the same damage that old Genesect used to do back in the good old days of when you used to do 5620, although it's 5660 here, which is kind of disgusting, but very high damaging, fast, super grab, all the same benefits that doesn't combo like the regular Lambda Driver, but obviously great reversal option for insanely huge damage. I was too lazy to make her jump up after the opponent to grab them in the air, so I made her just teleport up there instead. It also makes it function a lot better, to be honest, but maybe I'll tweak that in the future. I like it, though. It's bootleg Genesect. I mean, it's kind of cool, though. Freaking knee drop into the air, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. And I guess the last change to go over is to her, before we close the video off, is Exceed Excel has, of course, been changed like other super bosses, where it's always fast startup and the active flow version, and the minimum damage has been buffed from 10% to 30%, so it's a better combo ender. In fact, it's always active flow means it does a shit ton of damage. Well, not too much damage, but still. Oh, God! What a scuffed progress update showcase this was. This is an hour and 8 minutes long. This is gonna be hell to edit. Oh, my voice hurts now. Oh, whatever. That sums up all the busy work I've been doing with, Super Boss Lambda behind the scenes. I hope you guys... I actually kind of love her so far. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking hate this character, but... changing her into a different character that is much less of a new copy and more her own thing has actually been very enjoyable, now that I have been finally working around how to do it. There's not too much more to add, mostly just overdrive stuff, finishing up, Ghetto Guillotine Axe there. Just overall polishing everything. She shouldn't be too much longer till she's done. As I mentioned, the monthly progress idea outline has been thrown out the window at this point. I'll probably just make a second showcase video when she's basically more or less done before I run her through the gauntlet of Unlimited Mars and fighting her myself. But tell me what you think. I want to know. Thank you all very much for watching. That'll be all for now. My voice hurts. It's going to be a pain in the ass to edit. I'm just happy to have this out for you guys so you can finally see what's been going on. I have not been entirely slacking off. Just... life's been giving me a hard time lately. I've been trying to keep up with my passions here. Hope you enjoyed. Catching all future uploads. Let me know what you think of Lambda so far. And I'll see you later.